Hi, I'm Hillary Holsenbach, and welcome to episode 142 of Art This Week. In this episode, we continue our coverage of Dallas, New York connections. Rosanna visits the studio of New York and Dallas-based artist Jay Shinn. Now for Art This Week.
Hi, I'm Rosanna Vargas-Forbes in New York, catching up with Jay Shinn in his New York studio. Thanks for speaking with us today.
Thank you. Looking forward to the visit. Yeah.
Definitely. It's really nice to come and see you here at your studio because you have a studio in Dallas, and we spoke to you in the past and when you had a show out in, was it Marty Walker? Yeah. So what are you working on now?
Marty Walker. Right now, really the biggest part I'm working on is a show at University of Colorado in Colorado Springs in the fall, and that's a solo show. And then right now I have an installation being done at the Mixed Greens Gallery here in Chelsea for an exhibit that opens in July called Post-Op, with optical art and after optical art in 2012. But that'll be a nice group show this summer in New York. And then I'm also working on a billboard over on Prince and Mulberry Street that will be installed in July and August of this year. So several things going on, and getting ready and leaving next week for a residency in upstate New York in the Catskills called Art Omi. And I'll be up there 4 weeks. So it is a busy summer. I'll be here for a while. I'm usually in New York 2 weeks a month. And then with different times a little more, like 4 or 5. I'll be here 5 weeks this time before I go back to Dallas.
So let's talk about the stuff that you're going to have coming up, your works that you're doing right now, and some of this is from that, isn't it?
Yes, most of these drawings, I constantly work on drawings almost daily, and the drawings develop into different things, such as the projection work that I'm doing, or the neon work, or even paintings on spray paint on plexi I've been involved with. But like this group of drawings up here, it's a group of drawings that goes all the way across that evolves one after the other. I work on grid paper and tracing paper, and these are pretty much drawings for neon that will end up in plexiglass boxes. I've done a few of these already that are back in Dallas. I don't have any neon work in this studio, but I work on the drawings and have these fabricated and work with the neon sculptor, a neon artist in Dallas to do them. But yeah, this wall, I keep these up kind of like a lot of writers or a lot of poets like to push pin their works to the wall. I guess I'm that way. These and I take down, I have stacks of drawings over there and put some up, and then just different ones speak to me, and maybe that's, you know, where I get the direction of what I'm going to do next.
What do you find? I mean, is this your imagination? Is it something you saw somewhere? Where? It's
a little bit of both. I think a lot of it is subconscious of what I saw. There may be, every now and then there are more direct references to things I see, but I think I work through a certain subconsciousness, I would like to think, where things filter through and then they come back out in the art. And it's pretty much, my background is in painting, so these works, even though like these are drawings, I think they're complete in themselves, but they're sketches or ideas that are there, but they evolve in a painterly way into a final product. I think the decision-making process in painting is part of where my work evolves from these pieces on paper and the short thumbnail type ideas into more finished works that evolve. And that's part of what you just said of how living with these, seeing them, you know, certain ones they'll end up in the drawer again, and then others stay, and then hopefully something will materialize from that in different mediums, because I like working in different mediums.
Yeah. Now tell me about this. This is your billboard, isn't it?
Okay, yes. Yeah, that's the billboard that'll go up next month down on Prince Street, which is 15 feet by 28 foot tall. Over the last year or so, I've been using more and more bright color, and these colors are pretty much colors from the street. The yellow taxi cab, from the fluorescent colors from Caution, the green from the street signs that you see. So pretty much all of these colors are in that area. And then the building itself is about a 7-story apartment building that it's on the side of, and it's all gray, besides some graffiti they're cleaning off at the bottom. But to have the gray wall and then to force color into that area. So I'm really excited about that, and you have about a block of vision to see the billboard from. So I'm real pleased. I'm excited about that opportunity to do a billboard. It's basically a large painting, you might say. It'll be printed vinyl, but
is this the largest piece you've ever done?
It really is. It is, other than I did a mural in college that was about 15 by 120 feet long, a painted piece in Kansas City. But for up to date, I would say, usually with the projections, I'm doing the interior ones in that, about 10 by 10 is about as large as I work with those at this point. But this is one of the largest works. So it's fun to get to realize something of scale. I enjoy that part, just like with architecture, how you have your little plan and then one day a building is there, you know, that's maybe part that you had something to do with in the process. And that's one thing nice about being able to work that large scale and out in the public, or, you know, out in the real world versus just in a white box gallery or something.
You're continuing the use of the projectors, is that correct, in some new pieces?
Yes.
But you're switching projectors. You're experimenting with the different use of projectors. And why is that? How are you?
Well, I'm learning in the world of technology, you know, and I'm pretty low tech really in how I work, but investigating new projectors for new needs. And one of the things with LED lighting, like one of the projectors I have now that has LED lights, which means the bulb will never burn out. You know, some things like that, which are nice to incorporate into your art. You know, and there's just different technology coming into the projectors, and some is easier, can do more, can do larger with less power, that type thing. I think the whole world of lighting in general, be it for fine art or be it like Dallas and architecture, what goes on with LED lights, why there's so many things going on, such as signs on buildings or whatever, because the technology is so simplified now and long lasting for art or architecture or however light is used. You know, so most of my work the last few years has been somewhat light-based or influenced by light and just bringing light into it. And that's where the projectors and working with shadow, that type thing, has also just been evolving. But more so, I'm really deep into the work with projections now.
Good. It gives them a different dimension and a different light and life.
It does. It does. Where they actually have two lives, when the light is on and then when the light is off.
Now, we mentioned this drawing right here, and you said that it's part of a new piece, and we actually have it in the studio. So I'm going to cheat a little, and if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
All right. Now, this is what you ended up with from that sketch.
Yes.
Tell me about the process, because this is painted, right?
Yes, it's painted on the wall. It's a wall painting that has light projected onto it. So from those drawings, I make a small glass piece that has the image in it, where it's black and white, the image that lets the light through. So there, in this case, there's 3 rectangles, really 6 rectangles, 3 on each side, that project light. And then from there, I proceed to paint on the wall, where the image is projected, and then I follow the lines of that for the image, going through color changes and process, much of painting process. But this piece is projected onto the wall, the light and dark, and then all the color is painted on the wall. So it's just flat latex wall paint. I have worked with them on a canvas and that, but I really like working directly to the wall, where it is part of the room, it's part of the environment this way. And it's an installation that could be moved later, depending on the situation, the lighting situation, where it is. But the projector and the little glass piece called a gobo is all part of this with the drawing. But it is projected and then painted. So when it's very flat, this is actually a 2-color. It has this green and this kind of salmon color that it's only a 2-color piece, and then when I project the light on it, it seems to have more color to it and depth, and gets a more 3-dimensional aspect to it, where the viewer is really not sure what they're looking at. And that's part of what I enjoy doing. Anyway, is to put mystery.
It makes you want to go like this.
Yeah, so you can see what part's painted and what part's not. But part of the mystery of the piece, part of the secret that is what it is, you know. And then I've had people ask if they're projected from behind, or they think it's all color projection until they see it. But it's really, the two, the projected light and the wall painting, have merged over time, you know, to become one work. And working with two colors, you kind of have to push harder to find a combination that has a certain unusualness, a certain quirkiness, a certain statement with the two colors. So that's where those have evolved. But with the projection, there's usually an element of optical illusion between the projection and the painting as well that is part of my work. And all of these, there's always been a pretty strong sense of illusion. Because I'll go through the colors, and sometimes it's 2 or 3 paintings before it evolves to the statement.
Wow,
and
so
then
2 or 3.
Yes, so I photograph this once it's done, and then because like on this wall, I've done 6 of these over the last year, on this wall. So I sand it down and repaint it out when I'm done to do another one on this wall. So the photo documentation, is an important part of this, and then I can reproduce this in other environments. So it's pretty much a painting installation, an illuminated painting installation, you might say.
No kidding. Well, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Jay, for letting us catch up with you in your New York studio. Really appreciate it.
We want to thank Jay for speaking with us. More information on him can be found at jayshinn.com. He currently has work in the group show Post-Op at New York's Mixed Screens Gallery. That show will be up through August 12th. More information on that show can be found at mixedscreens.com. In addition, Jay will have a large work installed on the side of a building in Lower Manhattan. For more information on that, check out our show notes. That's it for Art This Week. Thanks for watching.
I still got your Polaroid